I'm 79 years old, and 3 months ago, 42 years. 42 years I gave to Berkshire Manufacturing. And you know what I got for my retirement party? A cake from the grocery store, a plaque with my name spelled wrong, and a handshake from a regional manager who didn't know what I did. The CEO didn't come. The CEO I'd helped build quarterly reports for since 1987 didn't even send an email. That's when I understood. I'd given my entire life to people who were just waiting for me to leave. Let me tell you what nobody told me when I was 25 years old and hungry to prove myself. Let me tell you what I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and screamed in my face before I wasted 4 decades learning it the hard way. Your job doesn't love you back. I know you don't believe me. I didn't believe it either. My name is Ricky Mitchell. I started at Berkshire in 1982, right out of college with my business degree and my cheap suit and my absolute certainty that hard work and loyalty meant something. I was in accounting. Not glamorous, but essential. I worked the numbers that kept the whole operation running. And I was good at it. Really good. Within 5 years, I was senior accountant. Within 10, I was managing a team of 12. I knew every number in that company. I could tell you our cash flow projections for the next quarter without looking at a spreadsheet. I lived and breathed Berkshire Manufacturing. And I thought they noticed. I thought they cared. When I was 31, my wife Laura was pregnant with our first child. She was 7 months along, having complications. The doctor said she needed bed rest. She needed me home. But we were in the middle of the annual audit. The biggest audit we'd ever faced because we were going public. My boss, Tom Henderson, pulled me aside in the break room. "Ricky, I know this is hard timing," he said, "but we need you. The company needs you. Just get us through the next 6 weeks, and then you can take all the time you want." So I stayed. I worked 16-hour days while Laura's sister moved in to help her. I missed doctor's appointments. I missed the baby shower. I was at the office when Laura's water broke 3 weeks early, and I almost missed the birth of my daughter because I was on a conference call with the auditors. I made it to the hospital with 20 minutes to spare. Tom sent flowers. The card said, "Thanks for your dedication. Couldn't have done it without you." I kept that card in my desk drawer for 15 years like it was a Medal of Honor. You see, I thought I was building something. I thought loyalty went both ways. When I was 35, they passed me over for VP of Finance. Gave it to an external hire, some guy from a competitor who had an MBA from Wharton in a way of talking in meetings that made everything sound more important than it was. Tom called me into his office. "Ricky, you're the backbone of this department. We need you exactly where you are. You're too valuable to move." I smiled and said I understood. I told myself it was a compliment. I worked twice as hard to prove I was VP material. I came in earlier, stayed later. I built the financial models that the new VP presented to the board. I trained every new hire. I fixed every problem. The VP got promoted to CFO 3 years later. I got a 3% raise and a paperweight that said excellence in service. Laura asked me once, during dinner, one of the rare dinners I actually made it home for, if I ever thought about looking for something else. "Are you crazy?" I said, "I've got almost 20 years here. I'm building towards something. Just a few more years, and they'll have to recognize what I've done." So I waited. When our daughter Emma was in middle school, she was in the school play. Annie. She played Pepper, one of the orphans. She'd been practicing for months, singing around the house, driving Laura crazy with the songs. Opening night was Thursday, April 14th, 1999. I remember the exact date because it was also the day of our quarterly board presentation. Emma gave me a handmade invitation. Construction paper with glitter that got all over my suit. "Please come, Daddy. I have a solo." I told her I wouldn't miss it. The board meeting ran long. Questions about projections, concerns about a manufacturing slowdown, requests for additional analysis. I was the only one who could answer half of it because I built the damn models. At 6:45 p.m., I checked my watch. The play started at 7 o'clock. The theater was 30 minutes away. The CFO saw me looking. "We're almost done, Ricky. Just stick with us here." They wrapped at 7:20. I called Laura from the car. "How much did I miss?" "Her solo was at 7:05, she said. Her voice was flat. "She looked for you in the audience." I watched her scan the seats during her song. "I'll make it up to her," I said. "Tell her I'm sorry. We'll do something special this weekend." But that weekend, I was at the office. There was an unexpected audit inquiry. Emma stopped inviting me to things after that. She learned the lesson I was too stupid to see. Dad's job always comes first. At 43, I had my first heart attack. Minor, the doctors said. A warning shot. I was at my desk when it happened. Sharp pain in my chest, radiating down my arm. I thought it was indigestion from the vending machine sandwich I'd eaten at 2 p.m. because I was too busy to take a lunch break. My colleague Janet called 911. They took me out on a stretcher past the cubicles where I'd spent half my life. Tom visited me in the hospital, brought a card signed by the department. Take all the time you need, he said. We've got things covered. I was back in 2 weeks. Not because they needed me. I'd built systems that ran without me. But because I needed them. Because without Berkshire, who was I? The doctor said I needed to reduce stress, exercise more, spend time with family, find hobbies. I nodded and agreed and went right back to my 60-hour weeks. Laura stopped asking me to cut back. She'd learned that lesson too. When I was 50, they reorganized, brought in consultants who'd never worked a day in manufacturing to tell us how to run our business better. They eliminated my position. Eliminated. After 28 years. Then they offered me a new position. Same work, different title, reporting to someone 10 years younger who'd been there 3 years. 20% pay cut because it was a different role in the new structure. I took it. Where else was I going to go at 50? I had Emma's college to pay for. I had a mortgage. I had 28 years invested. I told myself it was temporary. I'd prove myself again. Work my way back up. Laura looked at me across the dinner table that night. Ricky, she said, they don't value you. They're using you. You don't understand, I said. It's complicated. It's business. It's not complicated, she said. You've given them everything, and they've given you nothing back. We didn't talk much after that conversation. Not about work. Not about much of anything, really. At 55, Emma graduated college. Summa cum laude. She'd done it herself. Scholarships, part-time jobs, her mother's support. I missed the graduation. There was a crisis at work. A supplier had gone bankrupt, throwing our whole production schedule into chaos. I was the only one who understood our backup supplier contracts from years ago. Dad, it's fine, Emma said on the phone. Except it wasn't fine. I could hear it in her voice. I'll make it up to you, I said. Again. Always again. Laura went to the graduation. Took pictures. Emma's smile in those photos doesn't reach her eyes. I told myself I was doing it for them. For Emma's future, for Laura's security. I was providing. But I was lying. I was doing it because I didn't know how to be anything except a Berkshire employee. At 60, I'd been there 38 years. They gave me a watch. Gold-plated. Generic inscription. In recognition of dedicated service. Tom had retired 5 years earlier. The new department head was someone I'd trained when he was an intern. Ricky, he said at the presentation, you're a legend around here. Legends. That's what they call you when they're waiting for you to retire so they can hire someone younger and cheaper. But I didn't retire. I held on. Because if I wasn't Ricky Mitchell from Berkshire Manufacturing, who was I? At 65, Laura got sick. Cancer. Stage 3. The day she was diagnosed, I had a budget meeting. Critical, they said. End-of-year planning that couldn't be rescheduled. I went to the meeting. I told myself I'd leave early. Be home by 6 to talk to her about the treatment options. The meeting ran until 8. When I got home, Laura was in bed, staring at the ceiling. How did it go? I asked. The meeting. The doctor. I'm starting chemo on Tuesday, she said. Emma's going to take me. I can take you, I said. You have work, she said. And there was no anger in her voice. Just fact. Just resignation. I did take her to the first appointment. But after that, it was Emma. Because I had quarter-end closing. Because I had presentations. Because Berkshire needed me. Laura died 16 months later. I was at the office when she passed. Emma was holding her hand. They gave me 3 days bereavement leave. I took 2. There was work to finish. At the funeral, Emma barely looked at me. I worked until I was 79. 42 years total. Longer than some people live. I thought they'd beg me to stay. I thought there'd be some recognition of what I'd given. Some acknowledgement that I'd sacrificed my marriage, my relationship with my daughter, my health, my life for them. Instead, I got that grocery store cake and that misspelled plaque. Ricky Mitchell, 1L, in recognition of his service. They couldn't even spell my name right. The day I cleaned out my office, nobody helped me carry the boxes. I had 42 years of files, awards, memories. I made 6 trips to my car while people walked past me in the hallway without stopping. One woman, someone I'd worked with for 10 years, actually checked her phone while passing me, like I was invisible. I drove home to my empty house with my boxes full of meaningless plaques and paperweights. I sat in my car in the driveway for 20 minutes before I could make myself go inside. That's when it hit me. Really hit me. I'd given my life to a company that forgot me the second I walked out the door. Here's what I've learned in the 3 months since I retired. Here's what I wish someone had told me at 25, at 35, at 45, when there was still time to do something different. Your job is not your family. Your job is a transaction. You give them your time and skills. They give you money. That's it. That's the entire relationship. Every single person at Berkshire who made me feel like family, who told me I was essential, who said they couldn't do it without me. They did it without me just fine. They replaced me with a 32-year-old who makes half what I made and probably does the job just as well with better software. All those nights I stayed late. All those weekends I came in. All those family events I missed. The company doesn't remember any of it. It's not written down anywhere that matters. There's no permanent record of my sacrifice. You know what is permanent? Emma's memory of me missing her childhood. The empty chair at her school plays, her soccer games, her graduation. The way she learned that her father's job was more important than she was. That's permanent. Laura dying while I was at a budget meeting. That's permanent. The 42 years I can't get back. That's permanent. And here's the thing that kills me. I thought I was building security. I thought my loyalty would be rewarded. I thought if I just worked hard enough, long enough, gave enough, they'd take care of me. But companies don't work that way. They can't. A company isn't a person. It can't love you. It can't be loyal to you. It's a legal entity designed to make profit, and you are a line item on a spreadsheet. When that line item isn't profitable anymore, you're gone. Tom Henderson, my old boss who I thought valued me, he retired to Florida, and I never heard from him again. Those colleagues who signed my hospital card, most of them left years ago for better opportunities. The company I thought I was building, it was bought out by a private equity firm 2 years ago, and half the people I trained were laid off. Nothing I did mattered in the long run. Not to them, but it mattered to my family. My absence mattered. My misplaced priorities mattered. The life I could have had with Laura and Emma, that mattered. And I threw it away for a company that spelled my name wrong on my retirement plaque. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but I need my job. I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. I had those things too. And yes, you need to work. I'm not telling you to quit your job and live in a van. I'm telling you that your job is not your life. Your job is a part of your life. One part, not the biggest part, not the most important part. When your kid has a play, you go to the play. The work will be there tomorrow. Your kid's childhood won't be. When your spouse needs you, you be there. The presentation can wait. Your marriage can't. When you're sick, you rest. The company will survive without you. You might not survive if you don't take care of yourself. I'm telling you to set boundaries. Leave at 5. Don't check email on weekends. Take your vacation days, all of them. Say no when they ask you to sacrifice your personal life for the company's convenience. Will it affect your career? Maybe. Probably. But let me ask you something. Who's going to be at your retirement party? Who's going to visit you when you're old? Who's going to hold your hand when you're dying? It won't be your boss. It won't be your colleagues. It won't be the company you gave everything to. It'll be your family. If you haven't destroyed those relationships by then. I called Emma last week. We haven't talked much since Laura's funeral. She lives in Portland now, has a family of her own, 2 kids I barely know. Emma, I said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for all of it. For missing everything. For choosing work over you and your mother. For being the father I was. There was a long silence. I know you are, Dad, she said finally. But sorry doesn't give me back my childhood. It doesn't give Mom back the husband she deserved. She's right. She's absolutely right. But then she said, my daughter Sophie has a dance recital next month. If you want to come, you're welcome. I'm going. I'm going to sit in that audience and watch my granddaughter dance. And I'm going to be fully present. No phone. No thinking about work. Just there. It won't fix what I broke. But it's a start. I'm 79 years old. I spent 42 years building someone else's dream while my own life crumbled around me. I have money in the bank and nothing to spend it on. I have awards and plaques gathering dust. I have a granddaughter who doesn't really know me. And I have regret. So much regret it sometimes makes it hard to breathe. But I'm telling you this story because maybe, just maybe, you can do something different. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes instead of making them yourself. Your job will replace you. Your family won't. Your job will forget you. Your children won't forget your absence. Your company's loyalty is conditional. Your family's love isn't. Choose accordingly. Don't be 79 years old, sitting in an empty house, realizing you gave your life to people who didn't even spell your name right. The choice is yours, but make it now, because I thought I had time too. I was wrong about everything. If this story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and then go home. Hug your family. Be present for dinner. Turn off your work phone. Your job will survive. The question is, will your relationships? Don't wait until it's too late to find out.